Winning the Premier League is the most difficult task in the entire season, and also getting that Champions League spot is difficult as well. But the Premier League is the most difficult one. But congrats to Liverpool, because we can say they're the only team that are guaranteed Champions League football for next season. When you look at the other teams from second to seventh, you can say it's not guaranteed because the point gap is very close. With 35 games played and 3 more games left, we'll be taking a look at the upcoming fixtures and who is likely to qualify. All right, so this is the Premier League table, and in this video we won't be talking about Liverpool because we know Liverpool are guaranteed that Champions League football. We'll be focusing more on from second to seventh, and in second position we know we have Arsenal. In third we have Man City, we have Newcastle United, we have Chelsea, we have Nottingham Forest, and we have Aston Villa. I don't think Bournemouth can make it, but this seven, from second to seventh, I would say any of these teams here can get that top five. Now, let's start with Arsenal. Arsenal last 5 games, they've lost one. They've had 3 draws and they've won one. In the Premier League, they are on 67 points. Now, if you take a look at Man City, Man City have been on a very good run. They've had 4 wins and 1 draw with 64 points. They are just 3 points behind Arsenal. Now, if you take a look at Newcastle United, Newcastle United have lost 1 game. They've had 3 wins and 1 draw with 63 points, with 1 point behind Man City. Now, if you take a look at Chelsea, Chelsea have had 3 wins and 2 draws, and they are on 63 points as well with Newcastle United. If you take a look at Nottingham Forest, who all of a sudden they just fell off, like towards in the last few weeks, they really fell off, and they've had like 3 losses. They've had 2 wins and they're on 60 points, and they are just 3 points behind Chelsea. And we take a look at Aston Villa. Aston Villa, they've had in their last 5 Premier League games, they've had 4 wins, 1 loss, and they're on 60 points. Now, earlier on, I said anything can happen because the point gap is very, very close. If you take a look, Arsenal 67, Man City 64. That's 3 points. That's 3 point gap. Behind Man City is Newcastle United and Chelsea on 63, 1 point. Forest is on 60. They're still yet to play a game as well. I'm guessing they'll be playing on Monday. If they win their game, they'll be on 63 points as well. Aston Villa as well, they're on 60 points. So it's a very tight. It's a very tight. It's a very tight. In terms of qualifying for the Champions League this season, is very, very tight. Liverpool, we can say, are the only teams that are just guaranteed that Champions League football at the moment. Now, we'll be taking a look at the upcoming fixtures for these teams, these other teams. So let's take a look at Arsenal. Arsenal lost their last Premier League game to Bournemouth. If they had won that game, I'm guessing it could have put them in a very good position. But their next game will be PSG in the Champions League, and their next Premier League game will be Liverpool away. So Arsenal will be playing 2 away games, and they'll be traveling to Paris. Fatigue will come into play. They'll want to give all their best. They'll be coming back to London. It's a lot. It will be a lot for Arsenal. And I'm guessing from Paris they'll be going straight to Liverpool. They won't even go to London because of the they might, I don't know, but they might, maybe just to cut off that stress of going back to Liverpool again. But then again, they have 2 away games, and that's PSG and Liverpool. And they'll play their full team against PSG, and that Liverpool game, Anfield, it's going to be difficult because some players will be tired, and they might have to rotate. With have in mind, they are on Man City are just 3 points behind them. Their next game is Newcastle United. That's at the Emirates, which is another difficult game for them. At the Emirates, Newcastle United is not an easy team is not a pushover team. But I'll be expecting Arsenal to win this one. The one we won in Liverpool, I don't know. It will be a difficult one for them. If they happen to get a win, good for them. But I don't see them taking 3 points. Maybe they might get a point from Anfield. But the Newcastle United game, in as much as Newcastle United are a very difficult team to beat, I should be expecting Arsenal to beat Newcastle United, and they'll be going away. Their last game of the season, they'll be going away to Southampton, and they should be winning that game. It should be a very, very easy one for them. Now, depending on how their Champions League qualification goes, that will help their mindset, because now if they get through, if they qualify for the final in the Champions League, they beat PSG, that is off their mind. Now they just have to qualify for the like just secure that Champions League position. If they lose that game, okay, they have to just focus more, like put all their energy now in getting that Champions League position. So it's a tricky one for Arsenal, but I would say it's not an easy fixture. Playing Liverpool away, also playing Newcastle United and Southampton is not an easy one for Arsenal. Now, let's talk about Manchester City. Manchester City have been on a very good run. Like, they've been winning games. Manchester have been on a very good run. They won. The game against Wolves was a very difficult one for them. They nearly lost that game. Wolves had some very good clear-cut chance. That game could have ended with a point, but they had to grind the result out and they won 1-0. Their next game is Southampton. That's away. You'll be expecting Man City to beat Southampton. And they have the FA Cup final. And after Southampton, you'll be expecting, they'll be playing Bournemouth at the Etihad. You'll be expecting Man City to win that one. Fulham away, you'll also be expecting Man City to win that one as well. So for Man City, like, I don't think their next 3 Premier League games are games they shouldn't win. They are easy games for Man City to win, especially when they're just playing one game a week. So Southampton, if I'm guessing, it's Southampton, Bournemouth, and Fulham. These are games you'll be expecting Manchester City to win. All right, so let's talk about Newcastle United. And Newcastle United dropped points against Brighton. And maybe if they had won that game, they could have been in a very good position. But they drew that game. And their next game is Chelsea. Chelsea have been consistent in the last few games. And that won't be an easy game. But we all know St. James Park is a very difficult place to go to. Then after Chelsea, they'll be playing Arsenal. And Arsenal also going away to the Emirates is not easy. Like I said, I'll be expecting Arsenal to win Newcastle United. But they have Chelsea and Arsenal. These are 2 big, massive games. Massive games for Newcastle United. And after that, their last game of the season, they'll be playing Everton at St. James Park. You'll be expecting Newcastle United to win this game. So far, I think I can say the team with the easiest fixture, I would say, is Manchester City. Like, you'll be expecting Manchester City to win all their games. Okay, now let's take a look at Chelsea. We all know Chelsea are in the UEFA Conference League and they are likely to get to the final. And after that, I'm sure they'll rest some players because I think they won that game more than 2 goals. They scored more than 2 goals rather. So you'll be expecting them to rotate some players, and of course Chelsea have that depth in squad. But after that game, they'll be facing Newcastle United away, which is not going to be an easy one for Chelsea. St. James Park, you need to run. If not, they will hit you hard and they'll bully you. And after Newcastle United, Chelsea will be going to they'll be playing Manchester United at Stamford Bridge. You'll be expecting Chelsea to win this game, considering the form Man U are. Like, Man U are not really great in the Premier League. They've not been really playing well. They are not very consistent. So you'll be expecting Chelsea to win that game. Forest. It will be a difficult one for Chelsea because Forest also are trying to get that Champions League spot. So you can say the 2 games that might be a problem for Chelsea, Newcastle United and Forest. For Manchester United, we're expecting them to win just based on the fact that these other 2 teams are in a better form currently this season than Manchester United. But still, Chelsea have some tough games to play. Now, Forest. Let's talk about Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest have at the time of making this video, they've played 34 games. So their next game will be Crystal Palace, which is not easy. They already lost to Brentford. They lost their previous game 2-0 at their home ground, and they're going away to Palace. It's not going to be an easy game for Forest. It's not going to be an easy one. After that, they'll be playing Leicester. You'll be expecting them to win Leicester. You'll be expecting them to win Leicester because Leicester are really not in a very good form. And after Leicester, they'll be playing West Ham away, another difficult game for them. Going away to West Ham is not going to be easy for them. Then they have Chelsea, which is another difficult game for them. So Forest really have some tough games. Crystal Palace, West Ham, and Chelsea. These are games that won't be very easy for them because these are teams that also... Chelsea is trying to get into that Champions League as well. Crystal Palace, they've had a very good momentum. They're already in the FA Cup final. So, like... the fixtures for Nottingham Forest are very difficult. Very, very difficult games for Nottingham Forest. And let's take a look at the last team, which is Aston Villa. Now we know ever since they got out of the Champions League, their main focus right now is getting back into the Champions League. And their next game, they'll be playing Bournemouth away. Difficult for them. Next, Tottenham. Tottenham are really not in a very good form in the Premier League. So you'll be expecting Aston Villa to win Tottenham. But you can never know the Tottenham you will face. That's the problem. You don't know a Tottenham that will turn up against you. Tottenham, you can't really predict what they will do. But playing, you'll be expecting Aston Villa to win Tottenham at their home ground. Bournemouth to be a difficult one for them. And after Tottenham, they'll be playing Manchester United in another difficult game for them. Winning Manchester United at Old Trafford, another issue again. Manchester United, another team you can't really predict. You don't know what to expect from you don't know what to expect from them. But if I'm to give my prediction, I'll say it will likely end a draw if they play Manchester United. But not an easy, not their next 3 games are not easy fixtures. They have Manchester United, they have Tottenham, and they have Bournemouth. Now we've seen all the teams, and if I'm to say who has it easy, the next 3 games, who has easy fixtures, is Manchester City. Like Manchester City have Southampton and Fulham. And I think their next game is, if I'm not mistaken, Bournemouth. So Manchester City have it easy, but we all know their fixtures are easy. But we all know in the Premier League, there's no easy game. But the likes of Chelsea, Aston Villa, Forest, Newcastle United, I think they have very, very difficult fixtures. Like their next 3 games to get that, to be among that top 5 are very, very tough games. It's like a must-win game. There's no room to draw. There's no room to draw. Even Arsenal as well. Arsenal cannot afford to draw any game anymore, because if they draw, they are likely to lose that second position and drop. And you can't tell what the other teams will do, and you can never predict what will happen. But the last 3 games of this season for that to get that Champions League spot is very, very, very important. Arsenal, the PSG game, you can tell the players will be tired. After that, they'll have to go and play Liverpool. So it will be a long week for Arsenal. But hey, you can never tell what will happen in football. But if I'm to say which team is likely to be among that top 5 based on the fixtures, I would say Man City, just based on the fact that they look like a team that the last 3 games for them are very, very easy. Man City are that team that I'll say, I guarantee that like they'll be among that top 5 to make the Champions League. The rest, man, I can't really say, because anything can happen, and they have very difficult fixtures coming up. And that's it for me, guys. Let me know your own prediction. Let me know the team you feel will be among the top 5, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you very much.